What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome, Blue Nation. If you're new, like, share, subscribe. Now today we're going to talk all about Alexander Isak and basically his move to Newcastle. It's been a war now, and it doesn't seem like it's gonna end anytime soon. Well, that's my opinion. But Alexander Isak has issued a statement or put out a statement today on his social media handle. And in so doing, Newcastle has fired back. And it seemed like it is a war. People, it's no secret that Alexander Isak wants to go to Liverpool. We all know by now. But it's been a struggle after Newcastle. One of the worst transfer window they'll ever had. All their targets swooped up by the other clubs, namely Chelsea, Manchester United, Liverpool. And now Liverpool is still after Alexander Isak. So there's no peace for Newcastle. And they're trying their best to hold on to Alexander Isak. But Alexander Isak is adamant that he is not going to play for Newcastle again. He is adamant. He doesn't want to play for them anymore. So Alexander Isak statement has set fire to Newcastle, drawing fury but little signs of success. No, we don't need no sugar coating. We don't need any sugar coating it now. There can be no more claim or counter claim about what Alexander Isak might be thinking, and it blows apart Newcastle's policy of containment this summer. No sugarcoating. They have attempted to tough it out to see through a testing transfer window. As I said, their transfer were it was a mess. Every target, and I'm talking about some good targets, but they have been swept up, as I said, by other clubs. So they have tried to endure a tough time through this transfer window with the aim of keeping Alexander Isak. But as I said, he refused to play for them. He wants to go to Liverpool, but Newcastle won't let him go. I think he still have 3 years on his contract, if I'm not quoting wrong. I think he still has 3 years on his contract, and it is very sad. It is very sad. No, we could say what read it verbatim what he said on his social media, understanding basically of what is happening. Alexander Isak, let's put it up. All right, so this was what he had up on his Instagram handle in the story. I'm proud to be recognized by my fellow professionals with a place in the PFA Premier League team of the season for 24-25. And of course, we know Mo Salah win the PFA Player of the Year. Anyway, let's continue. First and foremost, I want to thank my teammates and everyone at Newcastle United who has supported me along the way. I'm not at the ceremony tonight. With everything going on, it didn't feel right to be there. I've kept quiet for a long time while others have spoken. That silence has allowed people to push their own version of events, even though they know it didn't reflect what was really said and agreed behind closed doors. So basically, Isak is saying that they have agreement. He had an agreement with the club behind closed door, and this is what I said. The gentleman agreement thing ain't gonna work. Put pen to paper, sign to make sure that you are in the right. This gentleman agreement thing not gonna work. Anyway, the reality is that promises were made, and the club has known my position for a long time. To now act as if these issues are only emerging is misleading. When promises are broken and trust is lost, the relationship can't continue. That's where things are for me right now, and why change is in the best interest of everyone, not just myself. No, Alexander Isak is telling us that he told him of his interest to move, and you had done that a long time. They had agreed, but now they're trying to paint the narrative that this what is happening is something new, and trying to make him the bad apple in this situation. However, they have broken their trust, and this is why he's not going to wear the Newcastle shirt anymore. This is why he's saying that the change is good for everyone, because they have basically broken their trust. They're basically broken their words. Wow. No. That was Alexander Isak. No, Newcastle has hit back. Newcastle has hit back. So Newcastle United now have no intention of allowing Alexander Isak to leave, in light of a bombshell statement in which he accuses the club of broken promises. The club have pursued alternatives all summer, and had they signed one of their top targets, they would have explored Isak's sale to Liverpool, recognizing his desire to move on. However, the message from the top on Tuesday night was that Isak will be told he is staying at the club. The hierarchy believe they have now been left with no choice but to stand firm after the striker released his inflammatory statement, and privately their stance has hardened. So basically, Alexander Isak makes things worse by issuing that statement today. He definitely made things worse and made things even bitter. Remember, Newcastle are one of the richest club in the Premier League right now, if not the richest. It's just that they can't really spend because of, PSR, the rules. It's just because they cannot do. So they don't really need the money. They don't really need it. And as such, this is why they're taking a stance on Alexander Isak. And they're adamant that he's going to stay. So, I don't know what is going to happen, but it doesn't look good for Alexander Isak. And he will definitely not get the move to Liverpool, basically from what I'm getting from Newcastle. And of course, this is courtesy of the Daily Mail. So big up to the Daily Mail for this article. Yeah, man. Alexander Isak is going nowhere. Sadly, it's going nowhere. Anyway, guys, that's it for me on the Alexander Isak issue. He ain't gonna resolve this summer for sure, and he's going nowhere because he still have 3 years on his contract, as I said, and the club is adamant that he's not going anywhere. And if they had gotten one of the top target that they were after, then they would have explored his option and give him the freedom to move. But they're adamant that he's not going anywhere, regardless if he wants to play or not. He's not going nowhere. Please like, share, subscribe, stay tuned. It's the Blue Throne. I'm out.